Hello, my name is Dan Anthony. I've worked in IT and cyber for about 20 years. Been looking at frequently asked questions about getting into cybersecurity and transitioning into cybersecurity on the cybersecurity subreddit, and posted a few videos on YouTube, and I'll throw the link to the videos in the description here. That said, there was a question on that video from David. David says, "Thank you for making this video." You're welcome, David. I am currently in my cybersecurity master's degree and have no prior IT experience. My current job is paying mostly for my degree. Awesome. What do you recommend I do once I complete my master's? I would like to be in GRC. Hey, GRC, woo! I am currently in finance. I work in finance, no prior IT or cyber or IT experience. Bachelor's is in marketing, making a career change with this master's. What would you recommend? David, working in finance, marketing bachelor's, holy awesome that your company is paying for most of your master's degree. But also tricky. That is tricky. The career transition stuff can be hard because my typical advice is, well, you have to go get an IT job for 5 to 10 years before you can go get an entry level cyber or GRC job. I do have a couple thoughts there, and I suspect that my answer, the best solution will be a mesh up, a customization of whatever speaks to you. First thought: you're working in finance. If you work in finance in the United States, I know that is a very heavily regulated industry. There's a lot of GRC there, a lot of compliance required in banking. I've been there. And your best bet, your most direct line into GRC might be to just go over to your IT and cybersecurity teams, or you have a specific GRC team, and go talk to them. Go make friends. Confession is that many cybersecurity teams, especially with finance banking organizations, have a bad rap. People look at us as enforcers, as people. They look at us as people that just come in and set up roadblocks and make their job harder. And talk about a group that desperately needs better marketing. Cybersecurity. So go make friends. They absolutely would love to have someone who could help them. And I think that might be your best in. Second thought: look around locally for GRC job openings in your area. Entirely possible that you might be able to just finish out that cybersecurity master's and then maybe grab a couple certifications and then just start machine gunning out some resumes. Never hurts to keep sending resumes and keep throwing applications out there, right? So constantly doing that. I think one of my friends called it the machine gun or spray and pray approach, and nothing wrong to just doing that in the background while you're finishing that master's. Third thought: in my master's program, it was in information systems at the U of U. Go Utes! They had a huge emphasis on databases, so learning SQL and R, data science. There are a lot of information systems programs like that will focus hard on databases or networks or servers. I would check with your university and see if they have any of those hard skills associated with their master's program in information systems, because that will be a longer term. That'll be the long game of, I can go get the master's with focuses on databases, and then after that I can start working on databases for a couple of years and then make the jump into cybersecurity. The long game, but more of a likely, more of a guaranteed route, and no reason to, right, not do that while you're also, throwing out resumes and making friends with your GRC team. Last point. Before I move on to that last point, saying just to move to one of those domains, whether it's networks, servers, or databases, don't pick something that you think will get you a job. Pick something that you enjoy, right? Something you enjoy well enough to dig deep and keep learning and enjoy going into, because that might be the career you end up in. It might be that you do that, you get into cybersecurity for a few years, and then you burn out, and then you want to go back to that career. So it could be something you go back to, or it's something you start a side hustle in, or a full business in, right? So whatever you pick something that you do like well enough to dig deep into it. Last thought, fourth thought here. One of my old friends and coworkers, I mentioned in another video, he got his degree, his bachelor's degree was in English, but he was always learning new tech. He was constantly writing scripts to make his life easier and his boss's life easier. He learned how to build dashboards, and he could code those. He got to a point where he could code that kind of stuff in his sleep. Everything possible he automated. And in team meetings where the boss would say, hey, I need a volunteer, and then, right, everyone's looking around like, who's going to volunteer for this, right? He started just I'll do it, right? I think I see a way that I can learn some new skill, some new IT skill. So he started volunteering for that kind of stuff. His next job after that, he became an IT project manager, because he had volunteered for so much stuff and he had so much extra experience just in things that weren't necessarily in his job description. Project manager. 15 years later, he was working as a chief technology officer at one of the largest companies in that industry in the United States with an English degree, right? So he just kept volunteering, kept making work for himself. So there are definitely pathways to just expand into IT. For GRC specifically, I would say volunteer as much as you can for documentation. Anything, right? Nobody wants to write documentation. Nobody wants to write the manual. If you write the manual, that's totally something you can put on a resume. That's something you can bring up in interviews. Hey, I wrote the book on this, right? Or I wrote this, I did this, and this is how people responded. And right, you take on those extra projects, and that can be your in. But at any rate, I hope that's helpful. I suspect the answer is, some amalgamation of all of those. But I hope that is helpful for you, and wish you the best of luck in your cybersecurity journey. And for anybody else, I appreciate likes. Subscribes might get you motorcycle or donut videos, but that's just what happens on this channel. Thanks for watching.